So Artists at Home started over 60 years ago, and it's because an artist called Julian Trevelyan, who lived about 50 yards from here next door. So Julian spoke to his wife, Mary Fedden, and said, why don't we open the studio? And it started there, and from there it has grown. So the next year there were 4 people, then there were 8, 16, and now we have over 75 people just in this area. And it's called Artists at Home because most artists are working from their homes. They're often working at their kitchen tables, and Paul Clay said his best studio was his kitchen table.
So one of the advantages is, as you follow your handmade trail round Artists at Home, you'll be able to see pieces of work, sculpture, paintings, whatever, in a normal house. The painting's hanging on somebody's sitting room wall, the sculpture perhaps in somebody's garden. So it's a very different feeling from when you go into a museum or a formal art gallery.
I take part in other art events throughout the year, but there's something very special about this event. Because it's in the artist's home or their studio, so you get to see where they're working, what they do, and you can really see the art in context, which helps you to understand how it's going to maybe fit in your own home. But it's fine just to come along and browse. I think if you're a new visitor, it can feel a little bit weird, the idea of going into somebody's home, but everybody who's taking part wants you to come and visit. So when you see a board, and the artists often put up bunting or balloons or welcome signs on the door, and you can just ring the doorbell and you will be welcome anywhere. The website's been totally overhauled this year, so what's brilliant about it is it's much easier, it's cleaner for people to get in and find the artists that they want to visit. And particularly excited about the fact that there's a new function where you can go in, and once you've found somebody who you want to add to your list, you can make a list of your favourites. And it will then show you on the map where those people are relative to all the other artists who are taking part as well. You can collect your studio guide from the first artist you visit over the weekend, or in the weeks beforehand, collect them from local shops in Chiswick, Hammersmith or Shepherd's Bush.
I always found it was the best times we had was when we planned out the route ahead of time. We would look in the booklet and figure out what artists we wanted to look at, circle them on the map and plan for the day to make sure that we went to those houses that we had circled. This year was a bit different for me because instead of going to the Artists at Home as a visitor, I decided to actually enter in as an artist. So it's something that I've done for years and years. I've always done painting on the side, and every time I've been to the Artists at Home event, I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind showing mine, could I, would I? And then I realized, you know what, I can do it. It's inspired me to create a lot more art, so I'm quite excited about that, but hopefully it'll come together by the day.
Well, I've been visiting Artists at Home for decades, as long as we've lived in this area, which is quite a long time. It's a great way to discover Chiswick and to really get to know all the little nooks and crannies. I've been painting and drawing and doing all sorts of things all my life, and I'm actually starting a Masters in Fine Art at Wimbledon this autumn in October, so this is a very exciting period for me.
But we couldn't do all that we do in the terms of publicity, the 20,000 studio guides, posters and banners. We couldn't do that without commercial sponsorship. And this year we got a new sponsor, Horton and Garton, estate agents sort of embedded in West London. They're not part of a big national group. And they have offices in Hammersmith and in Chiswick. And so they very neatly coincide with the whole of the art area. I think it's going to be a very creative and imaginative partnership.
So we're called Artists at Home, but the word artist covers a wide range of disciplines. We've got painters, obviously, but we've got potters, a fashion designer, someone who makes painted furniture, jewellers, photographers, a weaver, people who make prints.
It's the good, the bad and the ugly, and there's plenty to choose from. It's a wonderful organisation that has grown and grown and grown. Now, just Artists at Home in West London stretches from Brook Green to Acton, and the variety of people is worth making an effort to see. Please come and see Artists at Home. Wonderful, talented people, all doing their bit to express themselves and share it with the public.